Hello there, everyone, and welcome to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. We are here today discussing the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius coming in on the 17th of February of 2026. We've got a lot going on surrounding this new moon. We've got planetary changes, we've got conjunctions all feeding this energy coming in. This is a annular solar eclipse, and it is a ring of fire. And depending on where you live, of course, unless you're in Antarctica or maybe the very southern tip of those southern continents, you're not going to be able to see it in the skies. But boy, oh boy, will we ever be feeling this energy if you're not already. So hold on to your hats, folks. We're gonna go through everything that this new moon, that this eclipse is activating, everything that's surrounding it as well, because there's some really major resets going on in the cosmos and for humanity. So I will put all of the timestamps in the description box and the comment section down below, and we will also pull cards for the collective and also for each individual sign, so you will see what is activating for you at this solar eclipse. So new moon, which is what this is, a new moon is a reset. It's a time to start over. Great for trying something new, for making a wish. It can bring in some healing energy as well. We're letting things go. We're resetting the clock, resetting the stopwatch. And it is a wonderful opportunity to step through a portal, to receive guidance, to open yourself up to greater and higher spiritual awareness. Great time for you to focus on yourself, how you're feeling. What are you doing? Do you feel good? Do you not feel good, right? Because the moon activates our subconscious, but also our feelings. So the new moon in Aquarius can really sometimes highlight for us where we are spreading ourselves too thin. Because Aquarian energy is, of course, very humanitarian. It's the humanitarian of the Zodiac. And while it's wonderful and it's great to help other people, are you also taking care of yourself? And if there are actually any Aquarians in your world, you will probably sometimes notice that they disappear for a while. And it's to recharge their own batteries. And so this is an important time for you, especially at a new moon, to say, am I taking care of myself? Is there something that I need to change? Is there something I can do a little bit differently so that I can not only satisfy my own needs and take care of myself, but also have enough left over to help other people? And we're striking a chord, we're striking that balance there. So a new moon brings in fresh energy, fresh perspective, but also, especially with this one, brings in an opportunity point for us to take a leap of faith. A new moon can be represented by the Fool card in the tarot, but also where we're at with, I'll get into the other planetary alignments, also where we're at with other alignments here. It's, stepping into the unknown. And it's like a great unknown, because again, we've got a big cosmic reset going on here. So a new moon comes around every 28 days, always an opportunity for manifestation, setting intentions, trying something new, or really changing our perspective. But a great opportunity there to make a wish. A solar eclipse, right, brings in extra fiery energy, and this one here is an annular eclipse, and so we get the ring of fire, right, because the moon appears smaller in the sky, so it doesn't quite cover up the sun, and so we get that really spectacular kind of eclipse. And of course, like I said, none of us are gonna, the majority of us, like 99% of the world's population, is not going to be able to see this in the skies just because it's in Antarctica. But you can watch a live stream somewhere. But again, you don't need to see it to feel the energy. Eclipses do bring about fated events. The changes that happen with eclipses do tend to be long lasting, but they can be destructive. So when we get eclipse energy, I used to have a neighbor, and I knew whenever an eclipse was coming along that this dude would get up to all sorts of shenanigans, and he'd really go off the edge. And not in like a super scary way or anything. He'd just like overindulge, do things to excess, whatever. Basically, I just kind of like ignored the guy. But his poor wife. But he just, every time there was an eclipse, especially a full moon eclipse is when it really affected him the most. So they can have a huge effect on our energy, on our psyche, on the things that we do, but also they can really highlight the things that we need to do differently and the things that we need to let go of. But those eclipses, they open up a portal for us to step through. So this one in particular, you may feel, and you may have been feeling for the last couple of months, that something is changing, that something is shifting, or maybe you're feeling something internally where you're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm longing for something different. I'm longing for something new. And that new can just be like a new energy or a new outlook, or maybe it's a new job, or maybe it's a new relationship, or maybe it's a new place to live. But it's like you feel the change in the wind somewhere. And even if this change isn't you, perhaps it's other people around you and you are that cosmic observer. But there's something that we've been feeling in the air for a while. So with this eclipse, right, we've got a portal opening, a door opening. Are you going to willingly walk through? Or is it going to feel a little bit more like you're being shoved through and pushed through? Best way to deal with some things is to accept the energy, to accept changes, and don't resist things, right? Because when we resist, we create blocks and obstacles and all these wonderful things, and things are more difficult, things are harder. So even if there's things going on that are shaking up our world that we don't necessarily like, they make us nervous in the pit of our belly, right? But we sometimes just need to, instead of railing at the fates, say, what is this bringing in for me? What new is coming in to replace this thing that is shifting uncontrollably, or that something internally inside me that is feeling this cosmic shift? So when we are open to these things, not easy, not easy whatsoever sometimes, right? Especially if you walk into your job tomorrow and all of a sudden someone says, oh, no, we've restructured the company and, here's your pink slip, right? That's very difficult to sit there and go, okay, what is the cosmos trying to show me? But believe me, it opens up doors of opportunity and maybe even pushed you out of a situation that you were kind of knowing wasn't the best for you anyway, right? And sometimes we get stuck in our comfort zone and we need that cosmic push. So you may feel this at this eclipse. You might feel you might feel a little bit you might feel the tension in the air because this eclipse is in the sign of Aquarius, and which is very futuristic, very technology based, very community based. It does also rule our 11th house of Make a Wish, but we're also coinciding with additional fire upon fire energy, right? Not only is this solar eclipse fire energy, but this is also the lunar new year, so the Chinese New Year, bringing in the year of the horse, but not just any year of the horse. It's the year of the fire horse. And this only happens once every 60 years. So way back on the Wayback Machine, back to 1966 is the last time that we had a year of the fire horse. And not only that, but of course we have Saturn, and we've got a couple planets that have moved into the sign of Aries, and we'll touch on those ones individually as well. So we've got this fire upon fire upon fire, and so this is like really, really passionate and really ignites something within us, or encourages us to ignite something. But it also encourages us to be bold and brave and take action. Huge breakthroughs are at hand with this energy. But to top that all off, we've got with this new moon, it's in a square with Uranus. Uranus is the modern day ruler of Aquarius, and Uranus, it can be a very helpful planet, can be a very cool planet. It's a planet of rebellion and evolution. It's also known as the Great Awakener, brings about change, invention, helps us to reform things around us. It's also the planet of science, eccentricity, right? So, if you know an Aquarian, again, you'll know they're a little bit eccentric in some areas. And it's like, I don't know, my Aquarian friend is pretty cool. They're pretty out there sometimes, but they're also pretty cool. But Uranus is also the planet of liberation and our future. So we are really breaking away from our past. We are really breaking away from things that don't work. Old ways of thinking, old ways that we've had things structured, they're not working anymore. And when Uranus is in a square, right, and Uranus is in Taurus right now, okay, so at the very last dying breaths of Taurus, okay, it's like the old, it's some of this energy is like the old dinosaurs, the old ways, the old governments, right, are all crumbling because the ways of the past aren't working as we see our future, right? Something's got to crumble. And Uranus in a square, right, with this new moon can be this tension point, can be this breaking point of things. And as we've seen the last couple of months, we have more and more secrets coming to light. We have more and more things that are hidden that are coming to the surface. We have more and more nefarious undertakings that have been exposed. And why do you ask, right? It's noisy, very noisy. And this is not just, not just North America, not just the US, it's also through Europe and through other places. And it's noisy and it's loud and it's a little bit scary. But this is because we've got a number of planets that are crossing Pluto. Pluto is, of course, our planet of change and evolution. So we've got both our planets of change, evolution, one of rebellion, and also exposing the hidden realms that are essentially kind of working together. But again, Uranus is creating that breaking point. So we have more information coming to light, not just globally, but also personally, right? Hidden dreams, hidden desires, hidden things that we want to expose, that we want to bring to the light, right? And so, it can be confusing. It can be, it can be mind blowing. It can be mind boggling, right? And of course, it can be a little scary. So again, though, trying to keep an open mind and keep an open heart. We do have fated events that are going on here, but again, those eclipses is an opportunity point for us all. And are you going to embrace it? Please do. Because there's a lot of helpful energy that's coming in with this. And yes, it got a scary little square, but that's going to pivot, that's going to break, and we can turn some things around. Now, like I said, we do have a few other things going on. It's a very busy Tuesday, I will say. Again, this eclipse is happening at 28 degrees and change, almost at 29 degrees. And 29 degrees is that anuretic degree, the critical point, right? Once we pass that, right, we go into a new energy. And so again, this is like really highlighting things that are critical to do something about or to initiate. Again, the year of the fire horse. I do have fire horse readings that are posted. I'll put the link down below. Tuesday, the 17th February is also the start of Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. So have some fun, right? Have some fun, crack a drink, throw some beads, try and keep it clean, people. But Fat Tuesday is the start of Lent, right? And so, of course, you have a big party, overindulge, right? Before you, I think, have to give up some things. We also have, what else is going on? Right before this new moon on the 13th of February, Saturn entered Aries at 0 degrees. major reset, a major karmic reset, and a major global reset, and a big shift for humanity. We do get Saturn into Aries, right? But not at 0 degrees. The last time that Saturn was at, sorry, that last time, a little brain fart there. The last time that Saturn was at 0 degrees of Aries was 7,000 years, 9,000 years ago. 0 degrees of Aries in the olden days was used to predict the fate of kings. It is an energy that is associated with the dawn of humanity, the start of agriculture, the start of our settled human life. So let that sink in. The start of human and civilization, kind of as we know it, because without agriculture, we'd probably be very different people, or we might not even be here by now. But let that sink in. Saturn and Aries at 0 degrees, 9,000 years ago. And so it really does give an opportunity to pause and think, what is being reset within me, within my life, within my goals, within my future, but also within my neighborhood, Aquarius energy, your community, but also globally. Massive turning point for us all. And then, of course, a few days later, we have this new moon, a solar eclipse, right? It's meant to shake things up. It's meant to shake out the cobwebs and to create some massive change. But again, we already know this is happening. We already know that some of the things that we've been doing all this time just aren't working anymore. They'd worked at one point, but they're not working now. So that's Saturn at 0 degrees of Aries. But the good thing is Saturn is our planet of karma, of discipline, of rules, of regulations. It's very serious energy, right? But Saturn rewards you for hard work. Aries is that fiery energy of taking initiative, taking action, starting something new, making bold moves, being brave, being courageous, following your passions and your dreams. It's igniting that fire within you and doing something about it. So Saturn says, okay, what are you excited about? What is your passion? Let's make a plan. And by being grounded and down to earth while also embracing that fire that's lit within you, right? This is like a winner chicken dinner energy. But you got to do the hard work to get those rewards. And Saturn does reward you for hard work. So as Saturn has left Pisces for the final time, thank goodness, February 13th, right? A few days before this eclipse, you're getting a gift. You're getting some sort of reward. It'll be a little bit different for everybody. But wherever Saturn has been in your chart, right, this is where you're going to either see some relief, see some positive change, or get those rewards that you have been working hard for. A couple days after this eclipse, I told you there was a lot going on. A couple days after this eclipse, on the 20th of February, we have a Saturn-Neptune conjunction in the sign of Aries. Now, this is really important. It's relatively rare. Okay, the next time this will happen, it won't be until 2061. All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to be here in 2061. I can pretty much guarantee you that, at least not in my current human form. The last time, though, was we had a Saturn, Uranus, Neptune conjunction in the sign of Capricorn 1989. Now, if you know some of your global history, 1989 was the fall of the Soviet Union. 1989, I was getting ready to almost graduating high school, and we traveled to Europe in 1990. And when we had originally made our reservations, in order to get to West Berlin, you had to go through East Berlin at the time, the way it was like set up. And so you had to, go through all of this paperwork, whatever. It was actually kind of like nerve-wracking a little bit. By the time we got there, the wall had crumbled, mass rebellion, all that kind of stuff. The Soviet Union had fallen, and we just drove right on through. And of course, we have pictures of Checkpoint Charlie, the original, not the rebuilt one that's there now. We took a hammer and chisel, and we chiseled away at the Berlin Wall. Very, very significant time in history. Now, of course, Uranus was involved. Uranus is also involved now, but it's not part of the conjunction, although Uranus is hanging around, of course. So look back to 1989. Personally, what was happening for you? Do you remember 1989? Some of you might not have been born yet. Some of you might have been, starting a family or going to college or, starting a career or something. Something significant was triggered at that time. And so here we are today with a conjunction with Saturn and Neptune, right? Uranus not involved in that one. So it might be a little bit gentler. It might be a little bit more easier to navigate. And it is, like I said, relatively rare. So what is it going to bring? Saturn, planet of control, authority. Neptune tends to dissolve and disintegrate things. So it might be you might have something that's going on that helps you and encourages you to follow a dream. You might get some clarity about something, or again, something might dissolve out of your life because it's been too structured and too authoritarian, and you need something in your world that gives you a little bit more freedom. But it's a very exciting point, but it's also what's it going to reveal, what's it going to bring, what is going to topple, what is going to change. A conjunction, right? We work together. A conjunction is like, is a very positive thing. We're on the same page, right? We're pretty much on the same page. So this can be people working together, possibly, instead of driving a wedge and, getting apart, right? Moving apart. We're coming together. Very interesting. Coming together with humanity. Because by the 20th, we're still going to be in that remnant of that Aquarian new moon energy. And remember, Pluto is in Aquarius, and power for the people, change for the people, positive for the people taking their power back. Very interesting. But again, this year is, this is like a really fiery, a fiery point, a great portal that's opening for us with this new moon. The next few months, we've got more kind of once in a generation kind of astrology going on. And so you're going to feel these things coming up. And so again, work with the new moons, set intentions. New moons do tend to be a little more peaceful than a full moon. Sometimes this one's a little bit fierier. It's like a firecracker kind of new moon, but it's an eclipse. So what do we expect, right? But again, this year we have the outer planets all changing signs. They're all in new signs, right? We already started the parade with Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees, global reset, right? We have Neptune in Aries at 1 degree, a little bit ahead of Saturn, and that'll stay there till 2038. Saturn will stay in Aries till 2028. We have Uranus changing signs as well. Uranus has been in Taurus. Again, it's at that 29th degree. Uranus will enter Gemini on April 25th and will stay there until 33, I believe it is. So some big energies, big shifts, big changes. And so over the next few months, we're going to navigate all of that. But it's all influencing and all connecting with this new moon. So let's get messages, just a couple of cards for the collective. A couple of cards indeed. It gave me 2 of those, and I'm going to get 1 of these. And we have a divine plan. Thank you, Saturn. Beautiful. Your soul has a master blueprint of your life path that it holds within it. It will never steer you in the wrong direction. So remember, whatever this new moon is bringing you, whatever this eclipse is bringing for you, okay, remember it's always for you. All right. It's also a time of, big awakenings for people, right? And so whatever is going on, it's all part of your divine plan. So trust the process, connect with spirit, do some meditation, work with crystals, do some, moon cleansing rituals, all of those things. And they'll all help you feel a little more peaceful, a little more accepting, and a little more grounded. And we have heart opening. Lovely. Beautiful. I will also mention, in case I forgot, Mercury and Venus are both in Pisces at the time of this new moon eclipse. So this can be really wonderful. It can be heartwarming. We can have some forgiveness, some healing, but we can also be embracing the power of love. Loving ourselves, loving what we do, loving where we are, love of other people, all of that. We've got heart opening. Someone it may even be you, is withholding love and creating very emotionally painful experience for everyone involved. So we need to open our heart. We need to forgive. We need to release. We need to let go. And we have the 5 of Pentacles energy, okay? Mars of the golden earth. Now, the alchemy of the 5 of Pentacles, when we alchemize something, right? We practice alchemy. We take something and we turn it into something different, right? We invoke change. So I'm feeling this is the message that in order to receive something new, in order to change our world around, we have to be willing to let something go. We have to let go of ego. We have to let go of the old ways. We have to let go of control, because that is how we turn things around and welcome in something new. And with the alchemy of the 5 of Pentacles, right, wherever there is lack, wherever there is negativity, wherever we've been feeling left out, wherever we feel like we're the victim, whatever those old stories are, they're not working anymore. And we have a portal opening up. All we have to do is look up. We need to look up, we need to look ahead, we need to look forward, and we need to see the possibilities. We need to open our mind, we need to open our heart. And this is how things evolve. I will just point something out, massive change. The Divine Plan card is number 32. 3 and 2 is 5. Heart opening, number 41. 4 and 1 is 5. And we have 5. We got 5, 5, 5 coming out collectively. Massive shifts, massive changes, doors opening though, right? Should you be willing to walk through it? We can walk through it gently, or we can be pushed through it cosmically with a little bit of force. I choose the gentle. So I will leave those cards there for you guys to contemplate. And we are going to get into each sign and see what this new moon message brings for you guys. It is, a very exciting time for us, a little bit scary. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Remember, things need to get loud before they can crumble and settle and rebuild something new. So I thank you for watching so far. Hit like, share, subscribe if there was something here that you did enjoy. But check the description box and the comment section, and I will put the rest of the timestamps down there. We are going to go through each individual sign and see what this new moon is activating for you. Hello there, Aries, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse reading in the sign of Aquarius. This is happening for you in your 11th house, and the 11th house is ruled by Uranus and brings Aquarian energy front and center. So this is really impactful for you guys. The 11th house has to do with society, social justice, right? So if there's been some injustice that has been done somewhere, then you might be, kind of all fired up and ready to advocate for your community, for your neighbors, for society as a whole, perhaps. 11th house also has to do with charity, the groups and memberships that you belong to. Very humanitarian energy. Again, people helping people. It is about the future and about science and technology as well. That's what Uranus does rule. So some of you here, you might be doing something new. Maybe you're looking to say, how can I help more people, joining a charity? Perhaps this might be a time when you're getting some new gadget or device at some point as well. And it may be by some sort of calamity. Okay, so if if you're not quite ready to replace your cell phone or something, keep it away from bodies of water, right? Keep it away from fire, right? We don't want it melting on your dashboard in the scorching hot sun, depending where you are. But the 11th house also deals with your freedom, your liberty, also your wishes. So really use this, set some intentions, start something new, try something new, get out of your comfort zone, right? You are front and center with a lot of this energy. How are you dealing? How are you feeling with all of these planets in your sign, especially Saturn? Because Saturn's going to hold you back a little bit, but it's for your own good, right? So Saturn is here to teach you something, is here to help you to be successful, okay? But in a way that's going to have long lasting effects, okay? Not just whimsical, not just I'm going to do this and then I'm going to give up, right? So Saturn is going to help you see something through to the end, right? The boring stuff that you probably just don't really like to do. All right. But Saturn is always there to help, right? Does get a bad rap, right? But it's there to help here to bring you success. Okay. But with a little bit of structure and discipline in the mix there for you guys. Let's see what messages we've got. And we've got soar. You are being encouraged to soar to new heights. You are getting ready to fly high above all of your obstacles and embrace life in the most magical way. Yes, indeedy. And we have the alchemy of the Seven of Pentacles, Venus of the golden earth. So Venus is helping to bring you resources, help bring you abundance. The Seven of Pentacles is an energy of patience. So, fly high, soar, spread your wings, follow your passion, your goals, your dreams. But remember, we need to embrace a little bit of patience. The Seven of Pentacles says you will be rewarded with strategy and patience. And this is what Saturn is helping you with. This new moon, this eclipse, can bring about some abundance for you as well. So for some of you, you are encouraged to get ready to reap what you have sown, because we can get some gifts and blessings. Again, as Saturn has changed signs for you as well. But the Seven of Pentacles does encourage you to make a plan, make a strategy, trust the process, understand that, some things we find our success and our blessings and our something comes to fruition rather quickly, but other things do take time. Okay. But also have a look at where you are right now. If your goal, what is your goal? What is your dream? What is your end game? Right? Where do you see yourself heading up? Right? So if your goal is the 10 of Pentacles, and right now, after you do a little assessment, you're at the 7, right? You're encouraged, okay, what do I need to do to get myself to the 10? Am I on the right track? Do I need to make some changes? Do I need to do something a little bit differently? So you're being encouraged here to have a vision of where you want to get to soar. And when we soar, right, we're flying high, right? And we're also looking and changing, looking at things from a different perspective, thank you. And, perhaps seeing all of the possibilities that lay out before us. So that's what I have for you. I thank you for watching. Good luck with this new moon, and set those intentions, Aries. Really powerful time for you. Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius reading. So this is for you, your 10th house. Very much about your career, your business, your reputation, honors, rewards, fame, a little bit of fame. But really about, your career path, your status in the world. All right. So some of you may have new doors opening for your career, whether it's a career change, whether it's, a promotion. Some of you might get some recognition that is probably justly deserved. You could get some money perhaps, right? Or you could just get like a little bit of that, public recognition in some way, whether it's from your boss, your company, or maybe something online. Whatever that happens to be for you. This is where you're looking at your achievements. Have I accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish? What's holding me back? What can set me free? So, you could really be kind of very focused on your goals. The 10th house is ruled by Saturn. So, your goals, your plans, have you been successful? Where do you feel really positive, or what do you need to take control of? Right? Saturn can really be about taking control. But this is a significant eclipse for you guys. You've had Uranus in your sign for a while now, and Uranus is getting ready to leave. Okay, over what is it? April 25th is when Uranus leaves your sign. So between now and Uranus leaving, it's a very critical time for you to break free of old pattern structures, to to accomplish. You might find that you're feeling a little sense of urgency to get something done. And you could also just be like really saying, like, where am I stuck? Where do I need freedom? Uranus is ultimately trying to help you, right? It doesn't always feel like it, because Uranus's job is to shake things up, and of course it's like a wild card energy. We never really know what's going to happen with Uranus in tow, right? And this particular eclipse is with a square with Uranus. So wherever there's been tension, wherever there's been something stuck, something is about to break. But it's breaking with intention, it's breaking with purpose. And it's something that's going to set you free, or give you more freedom somewhere. Or, to really help you see something in a different way, in a different light. So, kind of some potentially uncomfortable energy, but ultimately something that is really positive and beneficial for you. So not just is this new moon, this eclipse important for you the next couple of months, right up until Uranus leaves your sign. And remember, when a planet leaves your sign, it does typically give you a gift of some kind, like like a host leaving a dinner party. Thank you for your hospitality. And but it's probably something of a surprise, something a little bit unexpected, whether it's something in your material world, or something, like part of a, like an awakening of sorts for you, because of course Uranus is, the great awakener as well, right? So you could have like some spiritual blessings that are showered upon you as well. So time of great change for you here, and maybe even a little bit of uncomfortable energy, but really try and set some intentions with this new moon, because there's something in the winds for you. And we have false assumptions coming out here. Okay. This is simply a misunderstanding. Let go of the need to be right. Interesting. So something is either happening in your world, or has already been happening in your world, or there's something that might be coming up for you, where it's going to be important to, number one, see the truth, dig for the truth. Okay. But also let go of some ego, right? And again, we do have a Uranus square happening with this lunation. So something here is being too tightly controlled, right? It could be something internally within you. It might not involve another person. So we sometimes have to step back and let something go, let go of ego, let go of control, and then things get a little easier. We also have, we have eclipse energy coming out here for you. Oh boy. Alchemy of the moon. Wow. So with eclipse, we have both light and shadow, right? We've got light and dark. Something may be revealed, something may be uncovered for you. Something may come to light for you. And in the moon energy, something, the moon casts a shadow, casts illusion, right? And the moon, right, is covering the sun at the eclipse. So as the moon moves away, right, then we can maybe get a little bit of a cosmic jolt. We can see the truth. The shadows are chased away and the clarity comes back out. So there's something here where if you haven't been sure about something, you're going to see the truth. If you haven't been seeing something clearly, it will become clear. If there has been something hidden, right, whether it's something within you or in your world, again, it will show itself in some way. The moon also encourages you to face your fear, right? Eclipses historically, back in the medieval days, whatever, right? All of a sudden the sun's gone. It's the middle of the day. It's the end of days. So something that maybe you have been afraid of change, afraid of something new, whatever it happens to be, afraid of taking a chance, right? This is encouraging you to face your fears, right? To really see clearly what's holding me back, because quite often we're our own worst enemy and we hold ourselves back. So this moon can represent a significant time of change and transformation for you. And again, you may get some sort of surprise. Eclipse energy does, carry on, last for the short term and the long term. So, and Uranus again is very much at play for you guys. So over the next few months, something can come in quite suddenly. Something may take a little while to show its face, right? But very significantly transformative time for you. So go with the flow, go with the energy, work with the lunations, okay? New moons, new intentions, new start, set yourself free. Full moons, things come to completion or we let some things go. Go with that ebb and the flow and don't resist it, all right? Something a little bit magical may be happening for you behind the scenes. We get fated events here as well. That's what I have for you, Taurus. I wish you all the best with this new moon. Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your new moon in Aquarius, your solar eclipse reading. This is happening for you in your 9th house. So some of you might be wanting to learn something new. It can be something for do-it-yourself around the house. This can be going back to school for some of you. The 9th house is all about your higher mind and your learning, but it is also about your belief systems, your spirituality, your religion. Some of you might be gaining some new insights or having a new perspective in your belief system somewhere. This can be a really big spiritual awakening for some of you with this in the 9th house as well. Your 9th house also about your philosophy, law, your morals. You might take a moral stand on something, something that might affect your ethics. Can come in here as well. Some of you, because it's a new moon, it's an eclipse, there can be something here that sets you free from some legal situation potentially, but you could also be signing contracts and things like that, signing legal documents at this time that encumber you for a legal situation, but it can be something positive for you. So think about, like, if you want a new car, maybe you don't have all the money to just outright buy a new car. Most people don't. So you might be signing like loan documents and things like that, right? But it can also be like other legalities as well, because the 9th house has to do with travel And typically long distance travel, this might be where you might realize that you need a passport to go where you want to go. If you are making travel plans, make sure you check your visa requirements, right? Because eclipses can sometimes, we are also heading into Mercury shadow period right before Mercury is start getting ready to go retrograde at the end of the month. And so, just double check your travel documents. So your passport, your expiration date on your passport. Because a lot of countries need a 6-month window, right? So if your passport expires within less than 6 months of you traveling, you may need to be proactive and get a new one. Your visa requirements, uh, uh, what am I gonna vaccinations, right? So if you're going to some tropical place that has usually mosquito-borne illnesses, check that stuff out as well. But this is the house of big ideas, your higher mind. So again, whether you're learning something, maybe you're going to go travel and learn about other cultures, or do something interesting. You might pick up a history book. Things like that. It's like your higher mind is activated in some way. But it can also be, again, kind of a full house. It's all about expansion and growth. Ninth house is ruled by Jupiter and Sagittarius. Jupiter, of course, is still retrograde at the moment in the fourth house, or with Cancer, I should say. Cancer rules the fourth house, our house and home, our family, our private life, all that kind of stuff. So it's like there might be a little bit of a pause or delay, or you might be rethinking some travel plans or something that you had planned. And it's like, okay, we need to do something a little different. We no longer want to go here or do this thing, or we no longer believe in this thing. And now we're expanding our horizons in some way. So it can be quite exciting. We've got reaching out here for you as your message. It's time for you to reach out and ask for the help that you need. So our ninth house, sometimes we, because it is the house of the, the bright lights, right? It's like, I'm a little bit of smarty pants kind of thing, in a positive way, right? Because it is Sagittarius energy. They do tend to know a lot of things, but sometimes we don't know everything. So if there's something that you don't know, put a little bit of ego aside and ask for some help. You're encouraged to do that right now. And it is card number 50. So this can represent that maybe there's been something that's been challenging you in some way. And there is a way out, there is a way forward, but you might not necessarily be able to do it alone. We also have for you, ooh, nice. We've got the alchemy of the Six of Wands, the sun of living fire. Six of Wands is an awesome energy. It's one of victory and success. It's one of overcoming struggles and obstacles and challenges. We are in the spotlight. We're being recognized. We are feeling very confident, and it is one of moving forward, right? So we're moving into situations that do, that we can be successful in. Or again, we have been going through some tough times, and now this is like our victory march. So this can be really, really wonderful for you. But we are also, because we're, typically riding a horse, right? We're like championing a parade kind of thing here. This can be about, your next steps, about making really positive moves for your future. So, so whatever your situation is, trust in yourself, be confident in yourself, and be willing to take those steps, and know that whatever obstacles that you do run into, that you can overcome them. All right. You can overcome them with ease, or with a little bit of confidence and determination. All right. Love that Six of Wands for you. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this new moon, and set those intentions. Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to your new moon in Aquarius, your solar eclipse reading. This might be a little bit kind of intense for some of you. Okay, yes, it's a new moon. They're supposed to be a little more peaceful, but I tell you, with all this fire in the skies, we do have some fiery, passionate stuff going on. This is activating your 8th house. So your 8th house is ruled by Pluto. Pluto, of course, is in Aquarius. So this can be really quite helpful for you to take back some power, take back control of your life in some way. This is, your 8th house is about transformation, growth, your evolution. Uranus that is at play with this eclipse as well is also about evolution, right? So you are evolving, you are growing. There's, maybe you're looking at things in a new perspective, or, you might be looking to see what needs to end in my life so that I can start something new, whether it's just clearing out some space, some time, whether it's shifting your perspective. And eclipses do tend to bring about change, right? And we can eclipse things out of our lives, but we can eclipse things into our lives as well. But your 8th house, endings, new beginnings, birth, death, transformation, it is a little bit of a mystery. So there could be some mysterious things going on. Of course, it's Pluto energy, right? So Pluto does tend to highlight things that are in the dark, that, so you might have something. And of course, a solar eclipse, the sun shines light on things that have been hidden, that are in the dark. So you could get some clarity about something. Some secret mystery may be revealed at this time. Okay. The 8th house has to deal with inheritances, loans, our shared assets, the things that we share with other people, especially our joint assets, like our joint finances, right? So our joint bank accounts, properties that we own with other people. You might be having discussions about wills at this time, because maybe there's like a wake up call somewhere around you. And believe you me, someone that has been through it, um, you know, the time to talk about a will is when you're healthy. It's not the most comfortable conversation. No one wants to think about it. But believe me, for the people that you leave behind, it makes it easier for them if we have a will that's done up properly, right? We've definitely learned that when my mother passed away very suddenly, unexpectedly, and it was like, oh my goodness, but the will actually helped us to keep our wits about us, right? Because it was like a little bit of a game plan. So, not the most comfortable conversation, but this is where those things come up, right? So you might be talking about things like that, and that way there's no fighting or anything like that, or there's no confusion. So, but the 8th house does also tend to be quite like sensual. So you could be having discussions with a partner, with another person about maybe some sort of fantasy that you might want to do or try, or something like that. You might spice up your life in some way. So, but whatever it is, we got change and transformation. It's the order of the day for you, and maybe, of course, something hidden. Let's see what's in the cards for you. We've got vibrational match. Ooh, very nice. You're sending out new signals that are bringing forward positive new experiences. What a wonderful, wonderful message there for you. And of course, we attract the energy. Whatever energy we put out is what we attract back. So just do like a little bit of an energy check with yourself. Are you putting out the energy that you want to receive back in your life? Because you receive it multiplied, right? So I want to just do that little energy check and make sure it's all good things. And we've got, you have the same card as the collective did. We've got the alchemy of the 5 of Pentacles, the Mars of the golden earth. So Mars is fiery energy. Mars is actually the ruler of Aries, right? And so we've got some very, very active and powerful and transformative Aries energy right around us right now, right? So this is like, your inner warrior, and to battle for what you want, to fight for what you want, to be confident that there's a way forward, or to be confident that there's success and positive change out there for you. Because some of you here may have been feeling like you're small, right? Or perhaps you've had some sort of losses or difficulties. The 8th house does deal with loss, right? The 5 of Pentacles deals with loss or a lack mentality. And so this is the perfect opportunity to turn things around. And yes, there's a lot of unknowns around us right now. There's a lot of wild and crazy stuff. I mean, if you wanted to go down the rabbit hole, of, media news cycles right now, you probably not come up for a breath of fresh air, right? But it's important not to let that absorb into you, right? So we can control the things we can control, right? We can navigate the things we can navigate. We can change the things that we can change, right? And some things we just need to put positive energy out there and hope for the best. So this is like you taking your power back, taking your mojo back, creating positive change for yourself, seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, changing your perspective. And because, especially since we have vibrational match, when we get the Five of Pentacles, it's a word of caution for you, okay? Because this is lack energy. And we just finished saying, do an energy check, because you are attracting what you put out there. So yes, some of you may have gone through some challenges, right? You may have faced some sort of loss or disappointment, okay? But it's important to look into the portal. It's important to look into the future. It's important to see the possibilities that lay ahead before you. Change your energy, okay? Because yes, it seems like such a simple thing, or maybe a frivolous thing, right? Well, oh, sure, I can change my energy, I can change my life. Well, yes, you can. It's been proven time and time and time again. If you put negative energy out there or bad thoughts out there, you're probably going to find more negativity or more bad things. No. Putting positive thoughts out there doesn't always mean that everything that happens for you in your life will always be positive, but it certainly changes how you deal with things. All right. So just a little word to the wise there for you guys. Okay. This is very powerful, very transformative eclipse. We want to make sure that things come back to you in an abundant, positive way. All right. I'll leave that there for you guys. Make a wish, set your intentions with this new moon. But I thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of luck. Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse reading happening in the sign of Aquarius. So your relationship sector is being activated here for you right now, which is actually a really good thing, because the seventh house is ruled by Venus. And Venus right now is in the sign of Pisces, along with Mercury. So at the time of this eclipse, we're talking about love, we're meeting people, we're feeling more social, we're getting ourselves out there. So if you are single, this can be a really big activation for you to meet someone new. If you are in a relationship, this might be where you take your relationship to new heights, new levels. This might be where your relationships are evolving, they are growing. Some of you might be starting a new phase of life in some way, right? So you could be anything from an empty nester to perhaps your world might be rocked a little bit. Maybe you might be getting married. But your seventh house isn't just about your love and romance. It's also about your relationships with other people in general, your friendships, your business partnerships. Also has to do with balance and equality, sharing. What we sharing is caring, right, people? Also about your contracts as well. So your legal obligations there. So again, with contracts, some of you, yes, you could be entering a higher level of commitment with a partner. Some of you might be meeting a new friend, new business associates, right? You could potentially be partnering up with someone that can help you to start a new business or to grow and expand a business here as well. Job contracts, loans, things like that, like legal documents of all kinds can be highlighted here. So the seventh house can be quite a pleasant place to have a new moon, an eclipse. I put it this way, an eclipse can shake up your world and bring you something new and unexpected, but ultimately something that's really good. But if there's any kind of like cracks in the armor of a relationship somewhere, then this is going to expose them. And of course, cracks can sometimes be fixed if we recognize them, but sometimes they can also kind of shatter. But again, it is for the best, as eclipses do tend to do. So you just can't always see it at the moment. So just kind of be aware of that, okay? But it's a perfect time for us to find balance and harmony in our world. So let's see what cards have for you. We've got Divine Plan. Okay, so, this is a time of partnerships, creation, creativity, but also some change. And of course, this is the same card that we got for the collective, which is really interesting considering how many cards there are to choose from here. And so your soul has a master plan, your soul has a master blueprint of your life path that it holds within it. It will never steer you in the wrong direction. So no matter what is going on, hey, this is all part of the divine plan. So some fated energy here, perhaps, for you. And we've got the moon of the starry water, the alchemy of the nine of cups. Oh, Leo, what have you been wishing for? This is a beautiful energy. The nine of cups is your wishes and your goals and your dreams fulfilled. This is feeling happy, feeling content, feeling really positive about things, feeling like, oh man, I've been through some ups and downs, but I am better off for it. I'm feeling fine as wine. So this is an awesome energy. So some of you could actually have this eclipse bringing you a wish and a goal and a dream to fruition, possibly something you've been wanting for a while. But this can also say wherever you put your energy and intentions now, this will come to fruition. It may take a little bit. The eclipses can bring things through pretty quickly, but it can also be like about your short and long term. So this eclipse, the first manifestation of it will be 6 months from now when we get the full moon in eclipse, and the after effects of this eclipse can last up to a couple of years. So, and we are at the start of a new eclipse cycle with this Aquarian eclipse. So so this can be like up to like 2 years, but I feel like it's probably a little bit faster than that for you guys. So beautiful energy, beautiful messages, beautiful cards, and a beautiful place for you to have an eclipse. Just remember that things may get stirred up a little bit. Things may get, things may feel a little bit uncomfortable before something releases there because of that Uranus square that we've got with that. But I think there's some beautiful things on the horizon for you. I'll leave that there for you, Leo. I thank you for watching, and good luck in this eclipse. Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your new moon in Aquarius solar eclipse reading. This should be a familiar kind of energy for you to a certain degree. This is activating your sixth house, and of course, this is ruled by Mercury, and it does represent Virgo energy. So this is all about your health, happiness, and well-being. This is your daily patterns, habits, and routines. It can also be your pets. Some of you might be getting a new pet. Some of you might be getting really serious, especially with Saturn and Aries here. You may feel that at some point, at some area in your life, you need this reset of some kind. And, it can be something like, I've been trying to live a healthier life. I've been trying to exercise more. I've been trying to stay more positive in my day to day. So perhaps you kind of keep on going on and off the bandwagon there a little bit. It's like I start and then I stop and then I start and then I stop, and I'm starting to beat myself up. So you might need to just really do like, stop. Let's just have a do-over here. Let's try again. And so it's like this big reset for you in some way. And sometimes we need to do that. We need to just wipe the slate clean, and we need to say, let's just start again. Let's just look forward to the future. We're not going to beat ourselves up about anything that, we haven't followed through with, right? And let's just do it again. Let's just have this a little bit of a do-over. And it can be really freeing to do that, right? So whatever it happens to be, you're really focused on, your day-to-day life and how can I make it better? And, quite often, if the sixth house does sometimes tend to get a little bit overlooked because it's not really flashy, you know. It's down to earth, it's practical, but it's the things that we do, or or that we say, or the patterns that we have in our day-to-day life, the little things that add up, right? And it's those things that if we're kind of off kilter somewhere there, or something's not going right, it can affect other areas. So whether it's something as, about your commute to work, how can I shorten my commute? Or where do I work, right? Because it can, it can be about your daily work. It can be about, are you feeling lonely? Perhaps some of you had to put a pet down. They crossed the rainbow bridge a while ago. Maybe you're opening your heart up now at this new moon to potentially welcome in a new furry companion into your life, right? You've done some healing and you are ready for, to accept a little critter, right? Something to love, right? Or, perhaps it's, not to replace any pet. We can never replace a pet, but perhaps it's just like, oh, maybe it's like a new kind of pet. Maybe you've been a dog person and now you're going to get a cat. Or you've been a cat person, now you're going to get a dog, or maybe you're going to get your dog a friend, this kind of thing, right? So, so it's really all about the new things we do in our day-to-day lives, because it does have to do with your health. You might be finding a new practitioner at this time. It can be a spiritual practitioner, but it can also be a new doctor, a massage therapist, a personal trainer, those kind of things. These can all come up when we get a new moon in this area. So it's not necessarily a flashy place to have a new moon, but it can have long-term significant positive impacts on your day-to-day life, your health, happiness, and well-being. And what else do we need, right? Let's see what's in the cards for you guys. And we have inner guidance. It's time for you to pay attention and listen to the guidance of your soul. Okay. Always a very important message to receive. Okay. So, again, sometimes, we beat ourselves up in our human brain, but listen to that inner guidance, because wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Spirit says you are enough. And Spirit says you are only human, and we can always try again. We can always do something different. And we can always set ourselves free. But I do feel there's a little bit of a spiritual awakening there for you guys as well. We have alchemy of the Four of Pentacles, Jupiter of the golden earth. Now, this here, the Four of Pentacles, sometimes does get a little bit of a bad rap, but the Four of Pentacles is about stability and security, and it is about building a strong foundation. And fours in themselves are, positive, right? Four legs on a chair, four wheels on a car, we get stability with the fours. And so it's almost like here that you're kind of being reminded of the foundation that you've built for yourself. And sometimes we have the building blocks that we put on top of our foundation, and sometimes those building blocks become part of our foundation, and they stick, they stay, they're good things. Other things other bricks that we add to our foundation, maybe they're a little loose, maybe they don't quite fit, and maybe if an earthquake comes along, they fall out to be replaced with something that fits a little bit better. And so that's that Four of Pentacles energy, right? And so no matter where you are, no matter what you've done, remember, even if you have massive upsets or massive change coming in, remember, you've got a foundation of experience, of learning, from this lifetime, past lifetimes, right? You're never starting from ground zero. Yes, you might have a reset. You might need to hit that reset button somewhere, but it's never from ground zero. There's those lessons that we've learned along our journey that help us to build a stronger foundation. And so this is very, very important kind of message coming out there for you. However, the Four of Pentacles is also about being grounded, right? Being grounded in everyday things, right? And that's where that's your sixth house energy. That's this eclipse energy, right? There's nothing wrong with being grounded in day-to-day routines and patterns, because those are the things that shape our world. They shape our lives, right? And we expand upon those things. But it's like, this is where we get real, right? This is a human experience. So sometimes we need to open our horizons, though, here, because the Four of Pentacles can be a little bit of a stubborn energy, because it's like, okay, I've got my feet on the ground, I've got a good head on my shoulders, but I'm just kind of clinging on to something a little bit too tight. I'm controlling something, or I'm maintaining control, or I'm afraid to let this thing go. I'm afraid to try something new. So with that Four of Pentacles, we need to be reminded to be open and to be fluid and to be in receiving energy and be willing to expand our horizons and make change, and trust that whatever we do is going to bring us some sort of benefit and will ultimately add to our foundation, right? Whether it's something in our material world, something in our knowledge, our life experience, whatever it happens to be. But we have to be open to the experiences and open to the possibilities. Okay. Always a big reminder there with that Four of Pentacles. Okay. But ultimately some solid, stable energy coming in here for yourself. And I do feel it's this message of trust yourself and the life that you've built. If there's something that needs to be changed, then change it. If you need to hit that cosmic reset button, hit that red button, right? Nothing wrong with that. But you always have so many things that you carry with you that is foundational, right? And so life is just about building. So I'll leave that there for you guys. Don't forget to set some intentions with this eclipse. I thank you for watching, and good luck in all of this very powerful energy. Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your new moon in Aquarius solar eclipse reading. So this can be fun for you guys. This is your fifth house. Your fifth house is where we have fun, we express joy, or we do things that make us feel joyful and make us feel happy. It's a very, very creative energy that's coming in. So this can be where some of you maybe want to learn something new. Perhaps there's something that you've always wanted to try. You're not sure where to get started. So this can be where you're like, I want to do this thing. Maybe you want to learn pottery, or you want to take some art classes, or, whatever else kind of like piques that interest within you at this time. Again, it's your self-expression, right? So how do you express yourself? What do you want to do that's kind of fun, right? It's not for any other purpose really than other than having a good time. So whether it's something new or whether you use something that you revive, right? This can be really really a pleasant experience for you. The fifth house does also bring about a little bit of romance, love affairs. So, perhaps there could be someone. Eclipses can do very interesting things. They can bring people back. Okay. I will say that. But sometimes they can just bring new and magical people into our lives. Or eclipses can stir up feelings between acquaintances as well. So, and we can, maybe something may change and transform there a little bit. So romance, love affairs, that kind of thing comes in. But ultimately, it's matters of the heart, the things that are fun and joyous and pleasurable in our lives, whether they're new or whether we get a second chance, or we maybe pick something up that we've kind of, left aside, right? Maybe you've been working too hard. Now as this eclipse is saying, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you your something in your world. I'm going to release you from something so you can have a little bit more fun, right? Or I'm going to bring you something that is going to bring you some joy in some way. So, kind of very lighthearted energy, a little bit more than most. So fifth house, always a good place to have that new beginning. We've got the Challenger here for you. Your relationships could be challenging you in a very painful way. Ouch. Okay, now your fifth house. All right. Yes, we can have a new beginning in our fifth house, romance, love affairs. Hello. Okay. But this can be enlightening for you. So this can be Cosmos saying to you that because the fifth house does have to do with kind of like love affairs, right? This can be something that can be unrequited love. It can be something where the universe is showing to you that maybe you're going to meet someone. It's going to be for a good time, but not a long time. And it could be an awakening for you of some kind. This can also say that, you could potentially, have some challenges going on with a partnership in your life somewhere. It doesn't have to be love and romance. Okay. It can be business, it can be friendships, all this kind of thing. And this can have you really kind of looking deeply a little bit and, am I happy, right? Your fifth house, a little bit of happiness, right? Am I happy in this relationship? Am I getting pleasure out of this relationship? Are we on the same page? Or is it just, not fun anymore, or not interesting anymore? Maybe do I see a future? Right. And so you could be making some very important decisions there with a relationship somewhere. All right. We have soul purpose coming in here as well. We've got a twofer for you guys. Something exciting is on the horizon for you if you follow your passion. Ooh, exciting there for you. And that's kind of like the undertone of this eclipse, isn't it? Right. So there you go. So your soul purpose, something is being activated, something is being shown, something exciting and new is coming in here for you. So just be open to it. We have the alchemy of the Four of Swords, Jupiter of sparkling air coming here. This is wonderful. The Four of Swords, rest and relaxation. It is a card of peace, inner peace, outer peace, feeling at peace. It's a card of taking a rest, taking a break, not working so hard. But it is also a message of meditation and connection with spirit here as well. So quieting your mind so that you can hear that voice within. So you're being encouraged to do some meditation. You're being encouraged to take a break. And remember, I think we already said that if you've been working too hard and you haven't had a lot of time for the things that make your heart and soul sing with joy, this is encouraging you to find the time, okay, even if it's just a little bit each day or a little chunk of time once a week, whatever it happens to be, to have that peace and quiet so that you can do those things that make you feel good. All right. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching and good luck in this new moon. Hello there, all Scorpio, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius reading. Your fourth house being activated here. So your fourth house is ruled by the moon. So it might be quite peaceful for you to a certain degree, as peaceful as an eclipse can be anyway. But the fourth house has to do with your foundation, right? The foundation that you've built for yourself in your life with your friends, your family, your possessions, your career, all that kind of stuff. But it also has to do with your actual home. So some of you here, because the new moon can bring a new beginning, or it can bring improvements in our world as well. Sometimes we need to let go of the old first, though. Okay, so some of you might be considering moving. You might be, buying a new home or moving to a new neighborhood, upsizing, downsizing. You could have some changes going on within your home with who you live with, and what that dynamic looks like, right? The fourth house does have to do with your family, your children, or your youthful spirit, right? So there could be something new going on there. Especially if you're an empty nester. Any of you there, maybe you have, one of your kids is moving out, or maybe all of them, and now you're like, oh my goodness, now I've got this house to myself. Do I need a house this size? Maybe I'm gonna redecorate now that the kittens have left the nest, kind of thing. Redecorate to your taste, repaint some walls, all that kind of stuff, right? So all the things going on in your house and home. But your fourth house does also have to do with your sense of security and your private life, your privacy. So, so again, some of you may be wanting to make some changes or do something different, whether it is a move or whether it's making some home improvements so that you feel a little bit more safe and secure in your home. But private life, right? Private life here also, there could be something that you're doing in your private life, or some new beginning happening in your private life, and you're just not sharing it with the world, right? It's like, I'm just going to keep this to myself for a little bit, before I, let the cat out of the bag. So all sorts of interesting things with the fourth house. Jupiter right now is still retrograde in the fourth house. So it can be that you are, kind of thinking about some things, or you're thinking about making those changes. They just haven't quite happened yet. Okay. But once this new moon comes about, And then, over the next couple of months or so is probably when you're going to see some decisions being made, or some of those changes come to fruition, and hopefully something exciting for you there as well. We have here number one, life force energy. One, new beginnings. It's time to engage in activities that rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Big message from the cosmos there for you. One, of course, we are in this big energy of, new beginnings, cosmic reset, global reset. And one is Aries energy, take action, activating things, new beginnings, looking at things in a new way, all this kind of stuff. But it's this great life force energy that is being activated within you. Do with it as you will. And we have here the alchemy of the Four of Swords. And this is the Jupiter sparkling air. Interesting that Libra right before you actually had this same card. So there's a lot of cards in that deck. So some of you might be dealing with a Libran person, or there could be something to do with your relationships, or you might meet a Libran person somewhere along your way as well. But the Jupiter sparkling air alchemy of the Four of Swords, this is all about meditation and connection. This is about finding inner peace, outer peace. It's about taking some time out, giving yourself a break, having some rest and relaxation, a little bit of R&R. But it is a peaceful energy. And so it is a 4, and this is your 4th house that's activated here as well. So a good solid foundation where you feel good about your surroundings. You feel calm and at peace in your surroundings. So if you don't have that right now, then your new beginning is going to be to find that. But I do feel that here that there could be something that is kind of activating within you in some way, and you might need to just quiet your mind and find some quiet space so that you can receive the messages. Okay, but that 4 of Swords does represent some calm peace and that little bit of a time out, a little bit of a break. So perhaps some of you, that you need a couple of days off work, and so you might do a staycation, stay at home, but do some hobbies or something, and or just kind of have that little bit of a time out period for yourself, just to recharge your batteries before all this life force energy gets activated. But I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching, and good luck with this new moon. Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius reading. So your 3rd house activated here, ruled by Mercury. So Mercury right now is hanging out with Venus in the sign of Pisces right now. So you could be feeling really social right now. You could be getting out there, meeting new people. If you're looking for love, you just might find it. Eclipses can sometimes bring people into our lives, or can give us a second chance at something. So perhaps a second chance in love. But this can also be a very creative energy for you here as well. Mercury ruling that 3rd house is all about your communication, your voice. So some of you might find your voice. It's very technologically associated. So some of you might be getting some new techie stuff, a new phone, a new computer, a new TV, anything like that. You could also, because it is about communication, this can, and about big ideas, your 3rd house here as well. It can be about journaling, be creating, say, an online presence kind of thing. Some of you might be using technology or social media or something to help get your ideas out there, or to help you, to get your voice heard kind of thing. This can be actually really good energy, especially if you've had any, anything where you've had trouble getting yourself seen or heard. So this can be like clearing a blockage, clearing a pathway for that as well. But your 3rd house does have to do with your communication, your thoughts, your ideas, your community, right? Your community, where you live, who you engage with, your neighbors. You might get some new neighbors, whether it's because you're moving or someone moves into your neighborhood. It can be a little gossipy. Okay, I will say that your third house energy can be a little bit gossipy. So maybe there's like some gossip about your neighbors, but you could also find that you're, maybe being more social with your neighbors here as well. Um, you might get a chatty neighbor that moves in next door or something, and maybe it's not necessarily what you envisioned as having for a neighbor. Maybe it's actually a good thing for you. But your social life is highlighted with your third house, but as is your perception. And you're usually a very open-minded, perceptive sign anyway. You're really good at seeing the big picture. You're really good at seeing the possibilities, right? You're probably the most positive sign out there. But something, you might just be looking at something a little bit differently. And it can be because you get a revelation, or perhaps you've been questioning something in the background. And so this might be where you kind of get a little bit of clarity and insight around something. So it can be something very interesting there for you. Maybe something a little bit mysterious, but it might be something that can help set you free. And you are a sign that likes freedom. We have soul purpose. Maybe that's what you find. Something exciting is on the horizon for you if you follow your passion. Wonderful. So if you've already been following your passion and you haven't had a lot of traction, then this can be where you get this big cosmic jolt, and this can be really good. Because perhaps, of course, Saturn just left Pisces, very creative, but also very emotional, but it can be like dreamy. It's like my head in the clouds kind of thing. And so now that Saturn has moved into Aries, joining Neptune, right? Now this can be something where you might get this something all of a sudden happens, right? So, something all of a sudden grows. So if you have like a social media channel, maybe you all of a sudden get a whole bunch more followers, or perhaps something goes viral, that kind of thing. You just never know. But something exciting, just follow your passion and dreams. Ooh, we have the blame game coming out here. Well, that's kind of a scary looking card. It looks like a bunch of asteroids in the fire of the sun, maybe a volcano. It's time to take ownership of the life that you are creating. Now, sometimes here again, you are typically an incredibly positive, optimistic sign, but we all have our bad days, right? And so, is there areas of your life where you've been like, why can't I have that? How come this doesn't happen to me? Right? Now is the time to just take ownership. Say, I own this. This is mine. I have the power to create. I have the power to change. I have the power to set myself free. I have the power to start something new. Remember, things in our lives happen for us, not to us. Okay, even though it feels that way, right? And so, but when we shift that mindset into everything happens for me, then we look at things differently, even the negative things, even the bad things, right? Because then it's like, what does this mean for me, right? What can I do with this to change my future, right? And it's like kind of like taking our personal power back. It's like taking control back, right? So very interesting. Anyway, message for somebody out there. We have the alchemy of the Six of Cups, the Sun of Starry Water. Now, the Six of Cups is a really pleasant energy, okay? It is about being present, being focused, being in the moment. It's about having fun. It's about enjoying life, where, we reflect on the past, but we also make plans today that affect our future, and we're taking ownership of that, right? But we're also having fun. The Six of Cups energy is about our inner child or about children, right? So this might be a time where children might come in your life, or hey, maybe you have neighbors and they have children and you like the sound of children, or maybe they can play with your children, right? You just never know. The Six of Cups is also sometimes where someone gives us a gift, a sweet gesture, a helping hand, an actual gift. Hey, if you get new neighbors, right, maybe you walk over a welcome package, right? Welcome to the neighborhood package. Who does that anymore, right? Seems like it's kind of gone the way of the dodo bird. But it's a nice thing to do, right? Just bring them some muffins or something like that, or, who knows? If you're digging out of a snowstorm, maybe one of your neighbors does something nice for you, right? They have a snowblower, you don't, and then you come home and your driveway's cleared and the snowplow didn't block you in, right? It's those kind of sweet gestures that can come up with the Six of Cups. But we are embracing today, we're embracing the moment. We're not railing at the fates or anything. We're taking, we're understanding that our energy today is, we are where we are today because of what happened yesterday, but we have the power to make changes or make decisions or embrace a new energy today that affect our tomorrow. So what do we want that to look like? Now, I will say the Six of Cups can sometimes bring things back because it can be a return card. Okay, so this can be returning to to a dream, returning to a goal. So we can revive something here, have a second chance at something, breathe fresh life into something here. Whether it's a hobby, whether it's a passion, whether it's just feeling revived ourselves. But it can bring people back into your life sometimes as well, and eclipses can do the same thing. Okay, so especially your third house, right? People are talking, or someone contacts you on social media. Maybe they find you on Facebook, and it can be like an old friend, an old coworker, it can be a childhood friend, right? We've got childhood with the Six of Cups, a childhood friend, someone you haven't seen in a long time, and it can just be to reach out and say hi. It can just be to reconnect in some way. Or it can maybe bring about an opportunity for friendship, for partnership, for love in some cases there as well. So second chances of some kind may be activated for you there in that Six of Cups. But that's what I've got for you here, Saggy. So something new. And I will say the third house is kind of like the junk drawer of astrology, right? It's got so many different things that can go on. Somebody might get a new car. You might go on a little weekend getaway somewhere, right? Maybe because it does have to do with some short trips, like some short travel. Maybe you have some travel plans that you're setting, or it can be like a little road trip or something, maybe a new car. But a lot of different things can happen with that third house. So it's all part of the mind, right? That Mercury energy, which, love it or hate it, affects our every single day. But I thank you guys for watching. Good luck in this new moon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius reading. So this is your house of money, right? It's activating for you guys here. Your second house, ruled by Venus. And Venus, of course, is a very beneficial helper for us. So the second house is all about your material and your physical world, right? It's going to be about your income, your money, how you make it, how you spend it. Okay, the things you own, the things you possess, the things you work hard for, the things that you wish you didn't have to work hard for sometimes. This is about your assets, your property. So this can be where you get a new opportunity to make money. This can possibly be because of something creative that you do. Venus is, of course, our planet of love and money, but also beauty, our self-worth, our self-love, our resources, abundance. New beginnings with Venus can bring about as well. But Venus right now is in Pisces. And so this can be very creative energy for you to, maybe you want to buy yourself something sparkly, or maybe you want to learn a new craft and you can make pretty things. This can be where you spend a little bit of money on yourself in some way here as well, because your second house does have to do with your self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, your money habits and behaviors, but also your belief systems about, your money values, or about your personal values, or again, about your personal self-esteem. So if you have been in kind of a negative trajectory anywhere, we're turning things around into a more positive way. And again, you can have some very exciting portals opening up for you, but you could also be ready to shed the old ways. If you, have negative money habits, okay, you're going to start a new, more positive spending routine, maybe making a household budget, putting some money away for the future. If there's something that you've always wanted to buy, you've been saving up for, now might be the time when you get that, right? New moon, new beginnings. So whether it's, your outlook on your life, on yourself, whether it's, your belief systems around money. Do you believe you're worthy of making a whole pile of cash? if you don't feel you're worthy, you're probably never going to make it, right? Some of you could be, really seeing the fruits of your labor. You could have some investments come to fruition, or you could be finding investments that are more in alignment with your values, right? So instead of maybe, throwing money in the stock market, which basically, kind of run by billionaires and stuff, maybe you want to put your, invest in something a little bit more beneficial, say to the planet, or something, that benefits your community in some way or something like that, right? Something maybe a little more socially conscious, perhaps there. But whatever it is for you, your money, your worth, your things you own, the things you buy, and all that is activated with your second house. And so you've got a new beginning there somewhere. We have inspired action, part number 22. So decisions. 2 is also your second house, which is where the eclipse is. So 222, all there out for you. You might want to look up at some deeper meanings of that. Focus on inspiration, and the action steps will flow effortlessly. Once you decide what you want or what you want to do or what you need to change, then we take action. Okay. And that's part of this fiery energy that we're in. We're taking action. We're not sitting on the couch. We're taking action. And so decide clearly what you want and then take steps to get it. And we have here the alchemy of the 5 of Cups. Okay, Mars of the starry water, now the 5 of Cups. Your message here with this is time to turn things around. The 5 of Cups is an energy of loss, of grief, of sadness, of feeling blue, feeling bad, not feeling positive or optimistic. But there's always hope. There's always light at the end of the tunnel with the 5 of Cups. We're encouraged to process our feelings, process our emotions, process something so that we can come to terms with it and we can release it and let it go. And then we can turn around and look at things more positively, because all is never lost with the 5 of Cups. All right. There's always a better way forward. There's always something new, something different, a way to improve. Sometimes we need to take a step back in order to take a leap forward, right? And sometimes that's what that 5 of Cups reminds us, right? Something may be lost, but there's still something to be gained. And it might just be a little bit of a reset. But again, that second house with our values, our self-worth, our self-esteem, our money, right? If these things aren't really the best right now, right, then we are at a very significant turning point here for you. But this is also reminding you that in order to move forward in more alignment with your goals and your dreams, right, you may need to take a step back, or you may need to let something go. 5s of course, are always a challenge, but also exciting opportunities for change. Okay, follow your heart, partner up with somebody, right? But remember, we do maybe need to kind of let something go. And this is a big, big message for February. It's time to let things go, right? Saturn left Pisces. Okay, Saturn is your cosmic ruler. Okay, and so with Saturn moving into Aries, it's like, come on, let's go. We're leaving some dreamy energy behind. We're leaving confusion and wishy-washy stuff behind. Now is time to take some action. All right. And so you're probably feeling that cosmic shift a little more than anybody else is. But again, Saturn Neptune conjunction coming up, and they do work together, right? They get on the same page, but sometimes it's like, gotta let something go, man. We've got to let it go. Something's got to crumble in order for something to be rebuilt in a more positive way. All right. So try and work through some emotions there, and look on the bright side, look for the positive things. All right. I'll leave that there for you guys. Good luck in this lunation, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your solar eclipse new moon reading. Okay, so Aquarius, of course, this is happening in your first house. So it's all about you. What do you want? What do you want to change? What new beginnings do you want in your life? What do you need to leave behind? This is like a breath of fresh air for you guys. Okay. A lot of very powerful, fiery energy. Do you have a passion? Do you have a goal? Do you have a dream? What has been your approach to life? Is that what you need to kind of turn around? New beginnings, all about you. And you know what? This is super important for you, Aquarius, because of course you are a very helpful sign, right? You help people, and sometimes to the detriment of your own self. So this is like, almost this cosmic alignment for you, and showing you that you need to put yourself first just a little bit more than maybe you normally do. Do something nice for yourself. Practice some self-love. With the first house energy, you could be potentially wanting to, update your wardrobe a little bit, update your haircut a little bit, change your approach to life a little bit, or of course, have a new beginning somewhere. The world is your oyster right now, Aquarius. Okay. And, you can decide where you want to put your energy, where you want to put your focus right now, right? Because it's your personal goals and dreams. And, some Aquarians now, it's been a little bit challenging in some areas, in the last little while, and maybe you've been feeling a little bit stuck, and you're like, how can I be stuck? Pluto is in my sign, right? But Pluto's a slow mover, right? He's like that cosmic partner on the other side of the dance floor, and you just wish he would come over and ask you for that tango. And Pluto can bring us some wonderful things, but not always quickly, right? And of course, we have to do the hard work with Pluto as well, right? We have to be willing to go deep. We have to be willing to make change. We have to be willing to start new things. We have to be willing to take a leap of faith and all these things. So you could be kind of changing your perspective a little bit there. And this can be really bringing you the energy of, I'm ready. But what are you ready for? A little different for all of you, right? Yes, we've got a square with your modern day ruler, with Uranus, with this eclipse. Okay, so something is at its breaking point. Something has been really stressful, and something's got to give. The tension is really, really challenging. And because Uranus is at 29 degrees of Taurus, Taurus rules your second house of money, income, possessions, your self-worth, your self-esteem, all of those things. There could be something going on in your workplace, right? Are you happy in your career? Are your finances where you want them to be, or where they need to be? So something is like at its critical point right there for you. So, and of course you also got Saturn to contend with as well, right? Because you have dual planetary rulers. And of course, Saturn is on the move as well. So, Saturn can be potentially bringing you a gift, because of course Saturn just moves signs, and of course there's something here that you're being rewarded with in some way. It can be a life lesson, right? It can be the gift of being able to be a little more disciplined in certain things, but it can be the blessing and the gift of change and something exciting, or the opportunity point maybe opening up for you. So again, the world is your oyster here. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. It can be like those little things in your life. It can be a massive opportunity or change or pivot point coming in here for you guys. But whatever it is for you, just try and try not to go super crazy at this new moon. Sometimes when we have an eclipse in our first house and new moon, we want everything to be new. We do tend to be, especially with the fiery energy that we've got going on, a little impulsive. And so don't do something that you might regret. You might get, if you have long hair, you might just wake up in the morning and maybe you've kind of been chewing on it in the middle of the night, or it kind of gust of wind blows it down your throat, or maybe it just gets tangled in your pillow and you're like, oh, nah, I'm tired of this. I'm just going to cut it all off and change the hair color. And then you might regret it like a few days later. You might be like, okay, yeah, I kind of liked it when I first did it, and now I wish I had my old hair back. So it's just those kind of things. So just be a little bit aware of it being a little bit too impulsive. But hey, boldness favors, fortune favors the brave, and fortune sometimes favors the bold. So maybe you do need to do a bold reset there somewhere for yourself. Let's see what we've got. Healing cocoon of light. All right, card number 55. Okay, change, transformation. But your angels come to you now and surround you in a healing cocoon made of light. What a beautiful, beautiful message there for you. The cosmos has your back. And we have 3 5s coming out for you guys. Okay, so you're very cosmically aligned. Alchemy of the Hierophant, okay, and the Great Tree. Growth, ascension, heading up to the next level, a big period of spiritual growth, personal growth, change and transformation is at hand for you. The Hierophant is Taurus energy. That's where Uranus is hanging out. Okay, so there could be, again, something changing there. There could be something changing with your belief systems right now, because the Hierophant is about faith and belief. What do you believe in? Do you believe in yourself? Right? Do you believe in the power of your goals and dreams? Right? Is there something spiritually that is changing for you, right? The Hierophant is traditionally, a very religious card, right? But, so what traditions, what values do you hold? Are those changing at this time? Or are you about to experience a massive awakening of some kind, right? Because we ascend, we take something up to the next level often with that Hierophant. But again, Uranus, the Great Awakener, your modern planetary ruler, is in Taurus. So this can be very significant for you. And of course, Uranus leaves Taurus April 25th. So between now and then, I think is probably the most active period for you. And again, you're very cosmically aligned, globally aligned, because remember the cards that I pulled out for the collective, numerologically, they all broke down into 5. So we had 555, but you also have 55 with the healing cocoon of light and number 5 with the Hierophant energy. So you've got 555. 555 challenges and obstacles, but exciting opportunities for change. So there's big changes ahead for you, a massive shift for you. And I feel like it is just, again, your reset button. So whatever needs to go up to the next level, Hierophant, your beliefs, your values, your goals, your dreams, something inside of you, something spiritually, this is a time of great evolution for Aquarius. Okay, so embrace the evolution, please. Okay, I am a fellow Aquarian. I feel you. All right. I don't, I am, well, I'm in a Sagittarius rising. So, so change is, I quite often do facilitate those things. However, I don't like frivolous stuff. I don't like change for the sake of making change without any benefit to it. Right? Sometimes, yes, I will resist change, but I always have some sort of logical explanation for it. But so don't dig in your heels. Okay. Be open and be receptive. Go with the flow here, Aquarius. Okay. Huge energy here for you guys. All right. But set some intentions. What do you want? Because you have the power here to make something happen. All right. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius reading. Ooh, this might be either intense or freeing here for you, Pisces. Now, for one, you might feel like you need to hide from the world a little bit or for a short time at this eclipse, okay? Because it's happening in your 12th house. In your 12th house, we tend to want a little bit of seclusion. Whether it's to heal or whether it's to dream, okay? A little bit of quiet time may be just what the doctor ordered for you at this eclipse. But the 12th house is, I feel like you're ready to let go. And of course, Neptune has just moved into Aries recently. Saturn has left your sign, thank goodness, and has moved into Aries. Saturn is not comfortable in your sign, and I don't think you're comfortable hosting Saturn either. So this can feel like a karmic reset for you, because your 12th house does have to do with karmic debts, karmic endings. This does have to do with your dreams, endings in general. It might feel like the end of a cycle for you guys, and it can be, again, a big sense of relief for you, or maybe you feel like you need to make some changes and that you're kind of looking out into the future going, what is working for me that I can take with me and what is not working for me and I need to leave behind, because your 12th house is endings, right? You're getting ready for for something new. So this can be a really intense place to have a lunation. A new moon, a new beginning can be really quite positive, but it's also an eclipse. And eclipses aren't always comfortable. And it is pushing you forward a little bit. So, whatever needs to come to an end, whatever chapter is coming to a close, this is where you're figuring those things out. But the 12th house can be very spiritual in its energy as well. So you prepare for some dreams, prepare for some like escalation of signs of some kind, um, deep insights that come out of nowhere. Um, can really be activating for you here as well. Listen to your intuition for sure, because I just feel like it's kind of trying to show you something very important, and I think it's trying to give you a gift, because Saturn, when a planet leaves your sign, we usually see it more with the benefics, right? With like Venus and Jupiter, right? They leave you gifts, but Saturn leaves you gifts as well, right? It's left your sign. You've been a good host. It hasn't been the easiest to get together, and now Saturn's like, thank you for being a host or hostess. So now you get like a gift as they leave. So it can be again that life lesson. It can be again, the end of a karmic cycle for you. And this is a really important ending for you. So whatever it happens to be, there's some gift being left at your door here as well. It's not necessarily like money or things like that, but it could be, right? But I feel like it's like just this sense of personal growth and deeper insights for you. And again, a little bit more of a spiritual cosmic connection for you there as well. But the important part is going to be for you, because again, this can be a very spiritual energy, is to find a little bit of quiet, find a little bit of seclusion here for yourself, even if it's just to kind of, sometimes we all need a little bit of alone time. And especially, Saturn has been in your sign. Saturn said goodbye just a few days ago. And now you're like, okay, I'm just going to sit in my energy and I'm just going to give thanks that Saturn's gone, right? Or I'm going to give thanks that I'm feeling a little lighter and brighter today, right? So sometimes we just need to do that. We need to just kind of feel the energy. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Empathetic overload. Oh boy, yeah, I'll say so. It is time for you to truly honor your highly sensitive nature. What a crazy perfect card for you guys, right? You are major empaths, right? You're very spiritual sign, you're very empathetic sign, you're very emotional, you're very creative and all that kind of wonderful stuff. But it comes with its challenges too. So this is card number 3. Venus is in your sign right now at the time of this eclipse. So is Mercury. Okay. So this can be where you do practice some self-love, some self-care. Okay. But this is also a time for you to really, if you haven't already, it's time for you to really understand that being an empath is not a curse. Okay. It is a blessing. And I've known some Pisces people where they're like, I wish I wasn't so sensitive. I wish I didn't feel other people's feelings so much. I wish I wasn't, energetically sensitive and all this kind of stuff. Well, instead of wishing it away, embrace it. Okay. Be thankful for it. All right. But learn to protect yourself. Right. I mean, if you go into a crowded room and you just feel this bombardment of, emotions and energy from other people, we've got to take certain protections before you go into those situations, right? Whether you carry crystals or whether you envision like a wall of mirrors, but the mirrors face out, they got gaps in the mirrors. So the good stuff comes in and the negative stuff reflects back out to the sender, right? That kind of thing. So honor and respect and be thankful and grateful for all of these wonderful gifts that you have been blessed with. But of course, sometimes, understandably, sometimes all blessings also sometimes feel like a curse. Okay, but it's not a curse. You are here for a reason. There's something here for you. And again, that 12th house energy with the eclipse, you could just be really all up in the feels. Okay, with this one. So again, some alone time, some meditation. If you're a rock hound like I am, obviously, I have been ever since I was a child. Figure out which crystals make you feel good, right? Is it, tourmaline is really good, right? Turn the negative energy into either neutral or good energy, right? Selenite is really good just for being kind of really good cleanser, that kind of thing. Or maybe you're into the quartzes, right? Rose quartz is nice and gentle, clear quartz is very all around good one to have. Or I have actually some tourmalated uh, clear quartz. It's got like tourmaline throughout it, embedded into the quartz. Really cool stuff. But whatever it works for you. Okay, embrace your gifts. All right, you are also part of the pack leading our collective shift. All right, feels like a burden, but it is a blessing. And we have Alchemy of the World. All right. So we got the World card there for you. Wow. The World card with that 12th house. Okay, you are done with a cycle. It's over. We've got an eclipse. We've got new beginnings here for you. Okay, we've got to pack up our old stuff, let it go, ship it off to nowhere, and embrace the sun. Embrace the portal with the World card here. It's a successful completion of a cycle, bringing you blessings, abundance, wisdom, growth, all kinds of positive things. But it is also opening a portal to a new beginning. All right. So really, really, it's kind of hammering it home for you here. Okay. And it's saying, celebrate everything that you've gone through, celebrate all of your blessings, celebrate all of your challenges, okay? But be ready to step forward and expand your horizons. Really, really positive sign for you there, okay? And we see, of course, we see the sun shining out. You see, it's all dark, right? Everything here. No, no, no. This is done. This is gone. Okay. And there's that sun, and that's where we're headed. And that's that solar eclipse. So, yeah. So wherever you set your intentions here and now, get ready for some karmic cleansing. Get ready to, really kind of let some feelings, emotions go. We've got some healing energy here for you, but also this exciting opportunity, this door opening for you ahead. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you so much for watching. Good luck in this new moon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.